Got you stuck off the realness, realness. Got you stuck off the realness, realness.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We're live. We're back.
another fantastic morning.
Yes. Good morning, Bushwick.
I found my hat last night. So
Yes. Where did you find your hat?
I'm
Before we get into anything,
rejuvenated.
where'd you find your hat?
It was folded in a bunch of blankets that I guess were folded in the beginning of the day. So it
just got
camouflaged
caught up.
It camouflaged. I wasn't myself yesterday.
At least you
bro.
found your hat, man.
You know how upsetting it was for me to walk the streets, especially having to go all the way to Coney Island.
Last time I happened is the reason I have this hat actually. I was up at Velas for my birthday, and I had it in my hand. I put it down for a second when we were leaving the house, and I forgot to pick it back up, and I forgot it.
And it
I
just
was
became
like,
a decoration in his crib for a long time.
Yeah, no, he actually brought it out to Velas. My right hand man, bro. My brother from another mother.
We're going to have an in-studio guest today.
Yes, we are.
I was going to say tonight. I'm still not used to the...
To say today, this morning. I think just to say this morning.
And we met her last Saturday.
At All the Way Live, yes. And
She had some fine poetry to
very fine
grace
poetry.
the stage with.
Yes.
So it's Bree from the Slap Collective.
Yes.
Right?
Bree from the Slap Collective. Yes, I'm looking forward to that interview. And tomorrow we have Ra of the World. No, I think we have both the Well Dressed
we
Villains.
got Jay Vargas
Yes.
too.
We have Ryan J. Vargas of the Well Dressed Villains. So it's gonna be another fun one tomorrow, man. But
I
yeah.
wonder who he's going to bring on next week.
I don't know, man. But I'm looking forward to it.
We have such an open schedule right now, and with the with conjoining HNMV and Good Morning Bushwick, I think it's gonna bring us not
Yeah,
only
man.
a lot of promotion, but we're gonna definitely have a lot of great artists from across the world.
Across the world, man. So it should be fun, man. It's always fun. Looking forward to it. It's definitely intriguing to say the least.
So should we talk about Valentine's Day first, or do you want to touch that serious subject? in the cold
Um,
open?
I say let's talk Valentine's Day first. I mean,
How was yours?
I
Because
mean, you're the one. I mean, I'd rather.
I told you I
actually-
didn't go out last night. Like
Oh,
I-
yes,
I-
you did. You did. But did you achieve your goal of your candy apples?
I did.
Did you find them?
I did.
How many did you get?
I had to get two because it was a minimum of $10 charge.
Uh,
I didn't want to come back with a basket of candy apples,
So
so I just got her two, and I didn't
same
need it.
flavor or different flavors?
She wanted one specific one, so I just got
You
her
got
two
of the same
those.
one.
Yeah,
It-
it's the green apple with the caramel and the.
They're called
the
Granny
peanuts.
Smiths, bro.
And you saw how crazy I was going yesterday. I was calling about 40 different.
Yeah, you called 40
places.
different places. I mean, I told you the whole time. You ended up having to go. Did you go to Coney Island? You had to go to Coney Island. I told you the whole time. How'd you get there? Did you take the F train? Did you take my advice and take the N Express? You took the.
The train was so packed that I needed to get off at Delancey. I didn't want to take the extra 2 stops. It was just an
You had
uncomfortable
to.
ride.
You had to, man.
But then as soon as I got on the F, I realized what you were saying. Like it was like 30
local,
stops.
it's a drag. I mean, but even then, there's somewhere along the line where you could have transferred and gotten on the N still.
But I was looking at the MTA, the digital.
Yeah, the
platform
digital.
thing,
Yeah,
and
the
I didn't see
digital.
anything.
I
I could have
guess
also
the-
taken the G train, and it would have left me a lot closer. There's like a stop that the G connects.
Yeah, there's a stop over there by the G. I think it's
Having to go through
I
the
think
city.
the last stop, Church Ave.
I think
and
so.
You can get on the
Yeah.
D or the D, which
So-
also run express over there.
It was worth it though. It was worth it when I got back to the apartment and she was there, and I was already I fell asleep on the train coming back, so voluntary. It wasn't
Even when
like-
even when I'm dead tired, bro, I just can't, man. There's something about it that's like, yo, keep your eye. Even when if I feel myself nodding, which is rarely on the train, because I'm always alert on the train, I get up and stand up. Like
I started resting my eyes, and next thing I was like, I don't really want to go back to the city, and then to be in a restaurant on Valentine's Day with a bunch of people who were trying to have a Valentine's dinner. Listen, I got you some apples. And then when she ate the first apple, her face lit up. That made my whole night. So I did the good deed.
okay, all
Look
right.
at this fine craftsmanship here at First Live.
Beautiful heart. I would Instagram that.
219. My phone is charging. Take a picture with your phone.
Take a picture of my phone.
Yeah, take a picture of the heart before I put the sugar in, because I'm going to destroy the heart. 219 Central Avenue if you guys want the best cappuccinos, best coffees in the world.
Fantastic mochas.
It's sad for other places now because they just have the coffee machine, regular
Yeah, they
coffee.
have the
shit.
regular
I walk into the
coffee.
deli
That
and
they
it's
don't
like,
have this fine craftsmanship.
it's like you guys don't even care to put the lids next to the cups. I have to ask for a lid. Look at that genius work. You gonna post that?
Yeah, no, I put it
Should-
in my story, bro.
You're gonna, yeah.
story.
I'll snapshot it. So how was your Valentine's?
My Valentine's Day was very uneventful, man. Like I said, being single, definitely spent it alone. But with my PlayStation, I've been trying to, I don't even want to say trying to play it because it's been a while since I played it. But a game I've always wanted to play that I haven't really had time to, and every time I was playing it, I was stuck on a part that I couldn't get past. So I spent the better part of yesterday beating that part and continuing forward in the game.
This is delicious.
It is delicious, man. It looks delicious.
God damn.
But I spent that playing that. For the game, it is The Last of Us Remastered, which is a game that a lot of people said was like almost like playing a great film, like the way it's storyline, the way
This
the
is what, PS4?
Yeah, PS4. And so I spent playing that, man, enjoying myself some junk food. I was joking around with my niece when I got home. She was in a happy mood, not looking like she wanted to Stewie Griffin me as usual. So that was fun. And for those of you who don't know, yes, I am talking about a two-month-old child. I'm pretty sure with some of the glares she gives me, she hasn't quite figured out how to work her limbs yet. But there's times when I can guarantee she's balling a fist up at me. And it's not just that, like, she has a fist balled up and it's like out here. Like, she has a fist balled up and she's like, her hand is here. Like, she's like ready, like, hey, what's good, cuz? Like, you want to do this? Want to do this? Want to go? Like, she asked me if I want to go, Turbo, and I'm like, no, man. Like, come on, let's be friends.
Did you get to witness any social media meltdowns?
Actually, no, I didn't, but I didn't pay attention that much.
Yeah, I wanted to pay attention more, but
I wanted to, I didn't. I saw some really good memes, some people making some jokes. I saw a lot of people. This is all, I saw the, it was all single people making too many jokes. It was all people who were single, not in relationships. And it was like, Happy Singles Awareness Day.
I'm glad it was a different energy. It was a much more positive energy than I expected. Because usually around this time every year we have, and I just didn't see any.
I mean, if you
I
do
saw
it,
more memes than anything else.
yeah, I saw
The one
memes.
thing that I did see that
It was all
actually
memes. I saw all I saw was
World
memes.
Latin Star was some guy took his girl to White Castle, and they decorated the entire inside of the White Castle like a
White Castle's books
like a restaurant.
special invitations on Valentine's Day. I've seen this
That shit.
even at White Castle's up here right before Myrtle Wyckoff. I've seen it like they start like, I shit you not, they
They dress
start
the
like right
tables.
after New Year's. Like, they dress tables, candles, everything, and they tell you, like, they have the advertisement, book your Valentine's Day date now. Like, people really book dates at White Castles, like, and reserve a booth, and I guess get a crave case, a couple sacks of fries.
We mentioned this venue yesterday, and then as soon as we got off the air, we got some news about it, and you brought up the gaming
Oh.
earlier. So I think, what direction should we take the gaming in now? Because I think now it's going to be forcefully independent, unless we find another venue. There's that other venue. I don't know if you saw it. I think I was with Cheese. It's on Wilson, like heading that way, and it's on the right hand side if you're walking towards Flushing, and in the back room is just a huge screen. It's about the size of this wall. It's just a huge projection
I
screen.
haven't seen it. I don't know, man, but that was a bit disheartening to see, man. Right after we got off air, and actually it was Bushwick Daily that broke the news, that Lantern Hall been sold, and it's a brewing company. It'll be like a microbrewery there. They'll be packaging their own beer, selling it. They'll have multiple seasonal styles. I'm guessing they'll have because they make a beer called the Bushwick Pilsner, which I've never had, but apparently it's
You're talking about the craft company that.
yeah, that brought it. So they intend to turn it into a gastro pub. Have more typical bar. That type of thing. Bit of a restaurant.
I just don't want them to change the vibe too much.
I think you could throw that out the window. I think that's gone all the way. You just have to see what's gonna. I think they have to. I think that's the gamble with business, man. Because you have people that I can see some of the comments already. People who are already sad, man. People in some of the comments already about it were sad. And
It
I think
quickly
as
became a staple in the neighborhood.
yeah, I think as a business
happy
a
hours.
business owner buying a business like that, I think you have to be careful because you have no where you're going. You don't really have a following yet, or established fan base, and you're taking established, venue, restaurants, space, and I don't think
And
they're
trying to implement your
yeah.
own thing now.
and I don't think they're core fans. They're patrons who
They're regulars.
frequented them. Yeah, the regulars.
We're not gonna go.
The regulars who
anywhere anymore.
frequented. I don't think they'll support you the same way. I think you have to realize that.
Because the new owners would have to start new relationships with all the previous relationships that Jeff is leaving behind.
Yeah, unless you go into it wanting to, you have to.
That's like Joe Coco still expecting to have a comedy hour even after Jeff and Heather sell Pine Box.
Yeah.
Like, shit, don't worry. What is Augie going to do now? Now we're going to
Yeah.
have to really speak to Augie about his
Augie.
comedy shit.
Yeah, I mean, we'll discuss it all. It'll all be discussed. But it was a bit disheartening to see that, man. When right when we got off air, scrolling the timeline and saw that, and it was like, no, that was.
It was too close. We had just finished speaking about
we
it.
had literally not even 20 minutes prior to finish speaking about it, and then we saw that. So.
And then the way you said it like Lantern was sold. I said, what? I'm over here trying to find apples. Okay, we got more patrons here. Some familiar faces. Nice to see you again.
What's up? How you doing?
So every day that we come in here, we get to see continuing history grow.
Yes.
Even down to the walls, even down to the aesthetics of the place. And we spent a lot of time here even after the broadcast.
Thank you,
Look at this
Danny,
beautiful
sir.
craftsmanship.
Caramel latte, my friend.
Caramel latte?
Caramel latte for
Thank
Zoe
you.
today.
Yes, that's what I'm doing today. I'm down the rabbit hole, man.
I said it yesterday, and she said it right before we started.
I've never
on
drank coffee, but I'm gonna Instagram this too for you guys. It's going in the story. Let me get this mic out of the way.
You're going to use a filter? Hashtag no filter.
Nah, bro, it's all in the story. I ain't tagging it. It was just going right up, man. Look at that. But
So
yeah,
with the story, what
down the
happens?
rabbit hole.
It expires after
24 hours, yeah.
Unless it's in the CIA database.
I think it automatically goes in the CIA database, NSA database, MI6
They'll pull up
database,
anything on
Mossad
your
database,
ass.
all those databases.
Holy
There's
shit.
an intelligence service in the world. It goes to the database.
So we want to take a quick second and just take a look at some history. Take a look at this was not that long ago, but it's still part of our history. So
Yes.
good morning, Bushwick.
We doing? Work it, baby. Always.
It's a big lesson to be learned about all of this. You can't go into a partnership expecting other people to do all the work. Big shout out to Radio Raheem.
Radio Rob, baby. Big shout out. Still supporting.
I didn't even peep they got another bathroom right here. Multiple bathrooms in the studio. See that shit?
Good thing you just came to us pretty quick.
So what we eating right now?
It's Indian food, man. First time for everything.
We just got called out for not being real New Yorkers, bro.
I need Indian food, man. I didn't know that's what you need to do.
We missed that memo.
You missed the memo? Here it is.
Cutting out letters and shit. Just a little behind the scenes of what we doing right now. Danny's trying to figure out what the fuck kind of music to play. You on that J. Cole right now? Back in the day, one of my favorite shows was This Old House. Using this piece to carve out these letters. That's a T. I don't know if you can see it. I did the E over here. We're gonna cut all this shit out.
Got music playing in the studio. Another day.
Early, papito. Early.
Beer in my hand. Yeah, it's real safe power machinery operation, guys.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not money from beer in my hand.
Early, papito.
Yo, what we doing right now, so? Working, baby. We working right now. We at First Live Studio right now, doing construction. See Danny in the back.
I'll keep putting in more work. What's up, Dave? Right now you got me over here shaking this beer marquee, 1 coat high guaranteed, lasting beauty and durability. And this here wall gonna look prettier than it look now. This here wall, cause your man Danny knows what he's doing.
The razor's edge. Don't let that man drink. So you guys got to see a little bit of history right now.
Yeah, man. So, that is pretty much history.
Every time we walk in here, we always point out the wall. You
The
realize
wall,
that?
man. I look at that wall every time I walk in, man, just because that wall's so sexy, man. But I did just make someone a promise in text message. So while we're on right now, I want to say hi to my mom. Hi, Mom.
Look.
Morning. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you're listening. I'll talk about it with you later tonight. See what your thoughts are. But hi, Ma. Love you.
My dad might be tuning in from Florida. He watched yesterday.
He did?
My dad watched yesterday.
Shout out to your dad. Wave to your dad, man. Tell your dad good morning.
We
Hello,
call him
man.
Pa. So, Papi, bendición, Pa. I love you. I miss you. I'm going to go to Florida as soon as I get the money.
We all want to do a lot of things as soon as we get the money. But
It's funny. He called me while his girl was cooking for him. And he was like, Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. I was like, yo, you have to be with somebody in the room, right? Because you wouldn't call me if it was alone. It's miserable.
oh, man.
She made him a nice dinner.
That's good, man.
Said how proud she was. She's proud of him. Shit. He's proud of me. I'm proud of
good.
him. Motherfucker's a survivor, bro.
Pride just going round and round in circles, man. That's what it's got to be,
It was
man.
a good day yesterday. It was a good day. I
Not
didn't mind going to Coney Island once I saw her reaction when she bit into the apple.
it's all worth it in the end, but I don't think it was a good day around the house for the nation. We obviously had unfortunately another tragic mass shooting yesterday in Florida, in Parkland, Florida, at a high school where a student who would previously, I was gonna take a sip of this and put this down. A student who previously had like disciplinary issues and been expelled previously, went back and shot up the school essentially. 17 people confirmed dead
How many
right
people
now.
were dead?
17 right now. Killed somebody outside the school, like on the street. Someone like in the on the ground, school grounds, and then like people inside, man. And then the crazy thing is, I was just reading more about it. They said after the fact, like he dropped everything and he like got out in the crowd and was arrested
his
in a
hands
nearby neighborhood. Yeah, like he got out of there. Like it's insane, man. Like he don't like could have got away, man. But they said like he pulled the fire alarm and kids were coming out right before like the school would have been dismissed, and just started just.
I mean, but how do you say thoughts and prayers without sounding cliche?
Without sounding cliche, man, and when does the country have a real, conversation about it? I mean, I want to say a lot of people, I think the Constitution, obviously, with the Second Amendment, a lot of people hold on to that. But, and understanding the reasoning behind it, obviously, people, want to stop the chance of government tyranny. And that's why a lot of people do, want to keep their arms. These aren't the people, doing this. These people, a lot of people, it's sad. Even the people who he lived with said, he had documented mental health issues and was still able to legally purchase that gun. So, there does need to be some sort of conversation needs to be had, because it's almost commonplace. I think they said, where are we now? It's February 15th. There's already been, I think they said 20 school mass shootings in the nation already.
How do you fix a problem that is forcefully flawed? These flaws, workarounds that people, are allowed to purchase these weapons, even having a history of mental illness and instability.
I don't
and
know,
all that
man.
shit.
I don't know, 'cause it's a crazy thing. A family friend we know who's involved in government. I had a discussion with him about it, and we had a discussion about it through a discussion about legalization of marijuana. And yeah, it was two reasons he told me he had a problem voting for the legalization of recreational marijuana. He said he wanted to see more studies about how it affects, younger kids now being around it, where before it was considered legal. Now it's just a recreational drug like alcohol, and it's regulated. Um, See studies on that and see how it affects, high school kids now, being more readily available. And he said his problem was that if you ever get a medicinal marijuana card, you're no longer allowed to legally own a firearm in the country in any of the 50 states.
That's crazy.
And he said he had a problem with that because why should getting that, but someone with mental illnesses could still documented mental
Such a
health issues
backwards system.
could still So it's kind of crazy, man. Then you obviously have the gun lobby, which is big, probably.
So, one of the main things that we like to enforce on the show is to vote and vote locally. When it comes down to state jurisdiction, can each state and each section of each state, have their own gun laws, or is it
I
like a
think
federal thing across the board?
It's both federal and then comes down to state laws too, because you have some states, New York, I know Illinois, Connecticut after Sandy Hook. California has like assault rifle bans and like bans on some. Then there's other states that don't have bans on any type of weapons. And it comes down to there's like federal guidelines for what can't be sold, period. And then it comes down to like state rights. And states regulate it differently. Each state regulates gun laws differently. They're like you can own a gun legally in Florida, but that same gun that you own legally down there wouldn't necessarily be considered legal here in New York, and you would need like the right paperwork between both, states.
There's just too many workarounds.
Yeah.
There's too many holes.
Yeah, there's too many. And one of the things that is unfortunate to even have to discuss when you bring this up with a tragedy like this is a person, someone with a a weapon illegally who does something like that is still unfortunately gonna find a way to do something like that, whether the weapon's illegal or not. So, I mean, I think that's something that needs to be discussed too, man. Is how to even help these people and prevent that, man. Because it seems like it's I want to say we've seen it in our lifetime, man. Because people yesterday were alluding to Columbine while discussing everything.
It's been a systematic progression.
And I can remember that. I remember even before that in elementary school, there were two kids like our age in like I think it was Arkansas.
Shot up a school.
Yeah, they were young, killed like 4 or 5 kids, and they were young, man, our age. And this was when we were still in Miss Silver. So I remember like it happened while we had Miss Silver. While I had Miss Silver. So you were in 33. But I remember that, man, and it's like it's become unfortunately almost commonplace now. And people like it's a short cycle, and it's such a short news cycle, and people's attention spans are so short that yes, right now, today, this moment, people are, upset, sending condolences out. But if something big were to happen in Hollywood today, some starlet breaks up a new diss track, it'd be boom, knock right off the news cycle, and people will stop discussing it. And
news doesn't have the lifespan that it used to.
No, it doesn't. And
now everything goes from page 1 to page 18 within a matter of 12 hours.
Yeah, and people, and it desensitizes. I think that desensitizes the population.
Even worse, when they
Desensitizes
just
people to
remove
it.
the article overall.
Yeah.
They'll just stop talking about it. Erase the trace. We never said that. You can't look it up. And then you got these people that live in fucking caves, and they have nothing but newspaper clippings taped to their wall because they keep track of this shit.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate tragedy, man.
So, like we mentioned earlier in the show, we're gonna switch it up now.
Yes.
It's depressing me. We have an in-studio guest today.
Yes, we do.
We got Bree. Bree's in the house.
Bree of the Slap Collective.
So we have an event here on Saturday for the Slap Collective. We're gonna be promoting that. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back on Good Morning Bushwick, we'll be live with Bree, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we most certainly will.
this coffee is delicious.
You know, I don't really drink coffee. This is what you come out with. This coffee is an empty cup. That's what you come out to get with on me, man.
I mean, it is coffee for music people. And
Music for coffee people.
A good coffee will wake you the fuck up in the morning. Remember,
You know what else will wake you up in the morning? Good Morning Bushwick, hosted by us two, Bud and
Butter
Roach.
Roach.
I mean, here at First Live.
Where is First Live?
Bushwick, baby. You're killing me, bro. You're killing me right now. Like
Where
First
are we
Live
from?
Bushwick. We're from Bushwick. We are Bushwick.
Pick up your damn cup and pretend you're drinking the coffee.
Here
Do
at
it
First Live
again.
Bushwick.
Do it again. Do it again.
You know what else will wake you up in the morning? Good Morning Bushwick.
Good morning.
Right now, we cutting a promo or we live?
No. Where can people go to find out what's happening in Bushwick?
BudandRoach.com and FirstLive.us.
This coffee's delicious.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
We're back on the air. We're live. We have Bree here with us.
Hey.
How are you
What's
doing
going
on
on?
this fine morning?
I'm doing very
Can
well.
we all cheers these coffees?
Yes, let's
Oh, you got a tea.
I got tea.
got tea,
So
but
But let's
get
cheers
a
to
Let's
that.
universal
cheers.
Boom, boom.
round the house.
I hold it with two hands
To
because
the beginner over there. Easy.
he's still, you know, he's still.
Yeah, man, I'm still riding yesterday's high, man, on this coffee, man. On this, it's a fantastic latte, by the way. I have nothing to base it on, but you know, by
Well,
my
it tastes
original
good.
judgments,
You have everything to base it on because,
caramel latte today. Yes.
and these incredible lattes and cappuccinos are
Yes.
here at First Live, 219 Central Avenue.
219 Central Avenue, Bushwick, Brooklyn, 11221, man. Come through and experience these, it's amazing. I'm taking those sip
These
real fast.
amazing creations. And I was watching the episode back yesterday, and I loved it when they cut to the coffee machine. Like
Yeah, man, it's like seeing the craftsmanship on the
that
coffee.
shit is so sexy, bro.
I mean, before we get into this real fast, Bree, I want to ask you, did you do anything special for Valentine's yesterday?
Man, nah.
No?
I cooked for myself while my dad was also cooking for my stepmom, and he was cutting like hearts out of beets. So that was I recorded it, so that was my participation in Valentine's Day.
Hearts out of beats. That's some
Outside
original
of beats,
shit.
yeah.
He said he thought about it in the shower, so I guess really all great
That's real
ideas do
OG.
I mean,
actually
I
come
do-
in the shower.
I do come up with most of my ideas in the shower, man.
Yeah.
Like, most of my thoughts are, like, sitting with the shower head hitting me like, man, I need to get out of here and start getting ready for work. And then something hits me like, but I wouldn't have to work anymore if I did this.
and last night it was cut hearts out of beets.
Yeah,
So.
so.
That's meditation time. That's the best place to meditate. If you look at, you know, all these movies where, you know, you got all these explorers and shit, what do people do when they see a waterfall? Everybody stops what they doing, they jump in the water, and they just get under that shit and just close their eyes. Let that shit hit you. That shit elevates your mentality, bro. That's real shit.
It does. I mean, at least I feel it does. I feel like, you know.
You meditate?
Yes. I
Where
do.
where would you normally meditate?
Where do I normally meditate?
Do you have like a regimen that you do? Do you light the candles?
I'm very sensory. I'm usually have like sage and Palo Santo and all of that. But I don't know. I meditate as often as I can. If I could just find some space to just, you know, shut in and really focus and get my energy right, I'll take the time to do it. So
Explain the sage. I've heard this a bunch of times, but I'm not quite sure what the purpose is. I know they say that it's like it's cleaning the air or some shit like that.
they say it's like cleansing of energy and, you know, things and nests in the room. But I personally just really enjoy the smell, and like instead of incense and stuff, it's just another kind of
Sage.
sensory thing. Yeah.
And they sell that pretty much, you know, in all these different places. Cause it's not like
Any
some-
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you
and
don't
like,
find
You got
black
essential
candles.
oils and things like that. Black candles?
I've never found a black candle in the store.
Ooh.
They said that was outlawed
Why?
because it had some satanic properties or some shit like that, and then
I mean, isn't that what it's all for?
I mean,
Yeah,
I would say, who would?
then why block it though?
But I'm saying, black candles, like they're just outlawed. Like people, like you can't.
Try, yeah, we could make a video going to every single one of these stores, see if they got a black candle.
So what would you have to like just make your own black wax and whip?
I would assume
I
so.
guess, yeah.
Add food coloring.
I guess.
I don't think that makes the properties in the candle legit. If it's some regular food coloring candle.
I don't know, man. That's news to me. That's something we're gonna have to look up off air.
Let's talk about the Slap Collective.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
How long has this thing been going on?
We're going into our third year, so like 2 full years. Slap Collective. Slap stands for self-love, affirmation, and preservation. And really just centric to creative arts, self-expression, and exploration through creative arts, and just testing out different daily practices of ways to express yourself and learn yourself.
And how many artists right now are affiliated with the Slap Collective?
Uh, I'd say a lot in terms of just community-wise. Like we're, how many artists do you guys individually know? And just multiply that because we really do try to keep it as engaged in the active community that we have. But active members in terms of just running it and making sure that we're still doing slap things. There's about 5 of us, and whole team-wise in terms of, hey, we got this going on, show up. There's about 10 to 15 of us that just, come out, represent, support each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What was the original idea in creating it? Did it live up to what you wanted it to do, or did it transcend what you thought it would do?
It completely transcended everything that I thought it would be. I actually started it as a meetup group for myself personally. I'm a writer, and open mics were never my thing. Reading my poetry, spoken word, all of that was never just, all the arenas that I saw it in was never really comfortable for myself. So I actually just started it as a meetup to host like writing workshops and open mics, because as an artist, that's where I kind of felt comfortable, just like a cozy space. And it really just kind of evolved from there.
That's great, man. I mean, I can say honestly, as someone who was, you were there to support me at my first open mic I ever did doing stand up. It's not easy. Like the first time going up there, it takes guts even to get on stage, man, and do anything, man. It takes like an amount of heart, and like, cause you're putting yourself out there, and like I tell everyone, only thing I put in my head now is gonna go either really good or really bad. There's no in between. And I can control if it goes either way. So I'm just going to do my best and hope it goes the way I want it to.
So now that it's kind of taken its own shape, do you guys still try to control it, or is it just like you set a date, people show up, and then whatever happens, happens?
For the most part, it's literally like we really get excited by the fact that it's going to end up being what it's supposed to be, because whoever's available, whoever's interested shows up. In terms of like setting it up, sometimes we'll actually do prompts or like, themes for the session, which generally just goes out the window by the time we get going.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll like line up some acts and say, hey, we're featuring this artist or that artist if they have like projects coming up or things like that. So, it's actually something that we've been looking to evolve and get into a little bit more in terms of doing at least a little bit more structure of a program or invites out, and also just doing more content-wise. So the fact that we're hosting here at First Live on Saturday is going to do a lot for the community, just to be able to allow us to, produce a different type of content.
And what could people expect? Like, tell people to expect this Saturday here at First Live with you guys.
I don't know. This one's a special session. It's a Black History Month session, so it's actually called Slap Your Black, because
Slap Your Black.
You must.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
There it is. Slap Your Black, and it's really just come love, affirm, and preserve your blackness. Come talk about it. Come be about it. Our open mics, they're open mics by forum and function, but we call them share and tells. We really just want you to come out and share yourself, share your story, tell whatever it is that you want to speak the truth. So you ask what they're like, and they're really like dens of dialogue. We have some sessions that are as small as like 8 to 12 people, where we're really just, sitting down and talking and reading out of our phone and expressing ourselves either creatively or just, being ourselves. And then we have ones where I think this Saturday is going to be like a bunch of people lined up wanting to come out here and just like spit what they got. So
I mean, you guys heard it. Come out here, man.
Is this your first televised like live?
Yeah, this is going to be our first live one. First fully recorded and, put out there wise.
God bless First Live, man.
Yes.
Yeah, you making a lot of things
First
possible
live
for a lot of
first
people.
live event.
Yep.
That's
I think that's what he even
what
got
you
the
did there.
branding.
wordplay.
He got the branding tight.
First live package.
So what's at the slapcollective.org? Let's see if we can pull that up. Don't switch it yet. I want to find it first. But we're gonna pull up the slapcollective.org.
So the first page is just a little bit of like, hey, this is what we do. This is what we're about. Self-love, affirmation, and preservation.
Can we get a shot of this?
Yeah, put the site up.
Look at that.
Newsletter.
Look at
That's where you
that.
get all your news.
I'm gonna sign up right now. You guys at home. need to
Everybody go
sign
do
up.
that. We don't
Get
spam.
Mo Slap.
Get Mo slap. We gonna slap your black.
So this is very interesting.
This is a very nice looking website here.
You have
Thanks.
I love it.
you can also make a
Donations.
donation.
We're a 501c3 officially. Like, we out here to put on for the people. So we appreciate whatever contributions we can get.
Can I
Gotcha.
ask you? And then this is more of a business question, but
Click on that Friendsgiving page too. Unless you're gonna do the whole
Friend-
site, that's cool.
Which one was it?
Friendsgiving on the right. So that's our
Friendsgiving
like
2017.
yeah, that's our community showcase that we do. We do it
Hey, I
Saturday
remember this face.
after Thanksgiving
Hey.
every year, and we just showcase artists visually, performance wise, and we have vendors and everything as well. So we had 30 local like community members on display.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the last event we did. So like this
I always
is our kickoff for the
appreciate
year.
when people put together the step and repeats.
Yeah.
You gotta have the step and repeat.
Gotta have a step and repeat, man.
Yep.
That's just it's so sexy,
I
bro.
think that makes it just adds a different element to the event and
Mhm.
people, everyone coming. You just step and repeat like everybody knows. Like there's a lot of people don't know what they're called, but when they see them, they know yo that person's at an event.
Yep.
They
It's
got one of
lit.
those things. They got one of them banner jump offs you stand in front of, son. Yo, they doing it. They at that event, man.
Absolutely.
And it says here that artists, vendors, volunteers, sponsors, if you want to get involved, there's a general application on the website under the Friendsgiving page, link on the top right of the website.
Word up.
So I love this.
Yeah, we're really trying to
really
get
love
more
this.
into the community. We just started implementing a community calendar as well. So if you hit on happenings, we're actually just receiving information from artists in the community and putting it out there, putting it in our newsletter for people to go out and see. So
Yeah,
our events are on the calendar as well, but those are all just like kind of community members and events that we want to help get the word out.
That's awesome.
If Raw wasn't structured as a business, it could have been this.
Yeah.
There was a company called Raw, and they, their mission was also to help and promote artists and get that collective feel too. They would bring all these different people from all these different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it was such a business.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you couldn't even walk in the place if you didn't sell your tickets.
Yeah.
You had to give them the envelope. You got the guy walking around just collecting cash from all the artists, and everybody's crossing their fingers hoping they sell a painting so that at least they, break even or something.
Yeah.
That was one thing I noticed there, man. But one thing I will say, all those artists there were so like a lot of them were dope, man.
They were
a lot of those paintings were
fire.
so- I still have dude who gave me the mini Cassius Clay. I don't call it Muhammad Ali because it's before he was Muhammad
Cassius
Ali. It was
Clay.
Cassius Clay. The painting where dude has his.
So you got it by the
yeah,
Jets thing.
I
on
have
your
it by
room,
my
right?
Jets banner with where he has his mouth padlocked. And it was obviously talking. For me, that was obviously when he got in trouble. Boycotting the Vietnam War. We didn't want to go to war.
Yeah.
So
As amazing as that event was, in terms of the artists that were actually featured and shit, it was such a bogus.
yeah, I saw that. That was
bogus
even.
experience.
That was one event. See that's
Holy
one. If you would have
shit.
hold over my head when I almost got into it with security before that. That's one I let you hold over my head. 'Cause I almost got into it with security before that.
It was just
That one was one I let you
It
hold
was
over
so
my head.
stupid.
That security
it
got
was
under
so
my
stupid.
skin.
And I went a few times. We went as I was one of the featured artists. I had to sell the tickets and all that shit.
Yeah.
So they give you a booth. I didn't need a booth because I was just playing guitar. So I had my wife bring her paintings. She hung everything up and was trying to sell paintings. But then, even we had Eddie Duran was also featured that night, and he
Yeah.
was running the trailer for Black
Pale-
People. It was Black
No.
People, Black People too.
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was Pale Blue Light.
He was there with John Killer. So that was the night that we were there, and nobody was paying attention to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, you go on the stage, you start performing, and it's like, you think that everyone's just gonna, kind of turn to you and give you that. All right, I just paid $200 out of my pocket to be here. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
please pay attention to me. nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit. It was
No.
such an anti-artist atmosphere.
It wasn't. It was more of a.
It was a bar.
It's
They were
event,
promoting it. It
yeah.
was more of a bar event, and they brought the artists in as
Yeah.
I want to say collateral to help their bar guarantee. 'Cause then
Absolutely.
this can all the door to everyone paying tickets. If you don't sell the alcohol you think you're gonna sell at this event, and what you're saying is true. It was mostly everyone was like hanging around the bar,
Too
Yeah.
corporate.
like the music. Everyone speaking was over the music, so people singing, going up to perform. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's 100% right.
How does having a 501c3 affect the way you would handle the business?
It's just, I don't think that's an interesting question because 501c3s, like, you still have to run it as a business. It still is a business. I think initially we're still very young, so a lot of it is self-funded. So I think initially that's primarily what I would say is that it's donation based. It's us out here hustling, trying to get people to commit to building the community, and now this year we're focused on trying to figure out how we can also leverage the community to generate income for the community within us, and that also be a way to feed us and the nonprofit as well. One thing that being a nonprofit is one thing that I consciously made a decision for is just to also just put out there that it really isn't about funds and money and everything. Like, we put out and really just want artists in the community to come ready to work. If you can, like, we're all going to win. We're all going to work together. We're all going to find a way to generate something that is beyond what each individual of us would be doing. So I think being a nonprofit, at least for the outside looking in or those coming to get involved, at least sets that precedent off the bat of, like, that's really what we're about, is just actually growing organically and internally. And everyone that ends up sticking around and being involved just understands that, which innately helps us grow a little bit more and faster. So
There's a bunch of things I just took away from what you said here. Like a couple takeaways I want to say. One, I think the whole organic, like people don't put enough emphasis on that, allowing it to happen organically and truthfully. Like, you can't force the process.
yeah.
And one thing you said too is like everyone being there together to work together. Sometimes I don't think people realize the sum of everyone together. The sum of your whole is better than the sum of your parts.
Absolutely.
So everyone coming together to make something great is better than everyone doing something individually, pitch it all alone. And that's something else. Like, I think collectives people need to realize, and I think people are coming around to realize, because that's how a lot of you see major acts on now. It's like it's not just one person and we're all huddled around this one person. Everyone's working on their own thing, and everyone's working together.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing, and teamwork makes the dream work, man. That's
Teamwork makes the dream
one
work.
of my favorite sayings. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I know a little bit, but not too much. For any local business, anyone that has financial stability that would like to donate to a 501c3, the benefits of doing that would be tax deductions at the end of the year for the business, correct?
Absolutely. You get tax deductions. All of that is technically a write-off that you'd be able to claim on your taxes. But also, when people think of donations, they think money. That also, there's a huge need for space. There's a huge need for, volunteers, time, and those are donations in kind, as we call them, which technically could be billable hours. It could be what you would charge for rent of a space that you can actually donate as, being a fee or something like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a nominal, here's cash in hand. It could literally just be
They can
in
say
kind. And
like so let's say there's a business owner listening right now and they want to help you guys and they maybe donated a space for a few months. They could write that off. Whatever they were hoping to charge for rent for that space, they can write off as donated.
absolutely. So say
amazing.
say you allowed us to host 4 hours a month in your space. Whatever your hourly rate is for the 4 hours, you bill it to us in kind, and we give you a tax deduction, a write-off form for that as well. So
That's awesome.
there's lots of ways to get involved and
God
kind
bless
of lend a
501c3.
hand.
I didn't know that, man. So you guys know now. You guys know, man. Get involved with more nonprofits, man. Jeez, I didn't know how that worked out, man.
Yeah.
Just learned something. That is another day on air. You witnessed me learn something new. Yesterday I learned something new about the TC Electronics piece.
Yeah.
It's 2 days on air. I've learned something new.
I got to learn about nonprofits dealing with the Perfect Storm.
Wow.
Because when Storm got his 501c3, he started Perfect Cares. And now with the Perfect Academy, he put together a program that he puts into I guess like junior high schools and high schools in New Jersey, where they'll go in and teach people Pro Tools, and that's all government funded now. So now
So
the
awesome,
city's
though, man.
actually paying.
You have kids. I mean, you have kids learning that young. A lot of kids, want to learn the arts. That's one thing that's a big problem now, man. I think that's something, obviously we just saw 45, and I say that a lot. I'm not gonna dignify his name. Just cut the endowment for the arts, and that's gonna hurt a lot of arts programs in the community and schools.
Yeah.
And that's one thing kids don't learn about anymore is the arts, instruments, painting. Like we at least still had art class and music class in high school, and all the way like through high school.
Yeah.
Like kids don't even get that now in elementary school some places. So I think that's big, man. That someone I didn't even know that, but teaching kids Pro Tools. A lot of these kids want to be
Get 'em
rappers
started
and stuff.
early.
If you could start these kids young, that's when a lot of people say like even like with coders and programmers, you write your best code and program when you're young. Like
Before your time. The way to do it.
I started coding when I was like 13. I started building my first website I built on a computer that didn't even have internet. I just went on Notepad. I started writing out code.
HTML, man. Remember when you had to actually write HTML code? Oh my God.
But that's what put us in a position of advantage, because once you know HTML and you know like CSS, JavaScript, all these different languages at a code base where it's not like a drag and drop platform like today. Everybody's using
It's like
Wix
low in
and
Latin.
it's like, come on.
You know the base of all the
Yeah.
words.
You can go in and you can take out all the
Take out what you don't need, man. Like when I
all
was
the fluff, just leave the main functions that you want, and
like when I
keep
would
that
I
shit
would use
moving.
the when you told me that like to use the online HTML editor and like using what I already knew and plus what they were giving me, like using it for ads at work was just flying through it. Like I don't have to actually write all this code. Like and I can put in what I want to do and like all right, I don't want to have to write all that. Also actually using the little quick links, it was insane. Like
Yeah.
So if people want to get involved with Slap Collective again, where do they go? How do they find you guys?
We are on Instagram. That's our main social media. The Slap Collective is our handle, and our website is theslapcollective.org. That's our main
.org.
predominantly.
Dot org.
Official. I paid
Very
extra for that
official.
second domain.
yes, see,
.com redirects.
gotta do it right. Gotta do it right.
Yeah, I think another note to that is like you asked if this was the full trajectory or if it kind of just came into play, and it wasn't at all. It was a personal creating space for writers, but like you guys mentioned, your friends started coming out and supporting and being involved, so it was like, oh, you're a photographer, you're a videographer, you do editing, and how can we help and actually build a more of a communal space? So that's where Friendsgiving came about. It was actually like friends of friends of friends putting on a art show, and it just like kind of has snowballed and grown from there.
Was that your first Friendsgiving, like the first one you hosted, or had you done one?
We
prior to
we
that?
did the first one last year.
Okay.
That was literally like, hey, I got 12 dope friends that some do art, some perform, so let's put a night together. The reception was really overwhelming, so we made that our annual fundraiser. This past year, we had 30 people involved, including vendors and such.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just kind of grown from there. So we do educational programmings on most mediums and just really anything that you can think of. We try to get involved in
It
creatively.
seems like you might eclipse that 30 this year. I'm just gonna say, just off what we saw last week and today during this interview. It seems like you might go over that 30 this year, and we're hoping for it.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I know you work on Saturday, but I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to be here
I
for
have to
this.
work this Saturday. I don't think my bosses will be too happy about 2 Saturdays off in a row.
That's all right.
I'm gonna definitely try to be here. I'm gonna try to get some footage.
Be here in spirit, man. You can, it's crazy. You can call me on, if I don't have FaceTime, but you hit me on Google Video, so man, I can talk to you guys. I mean, it's not, I can't,
Google
get
Video.
on my phone at work. I won't be killed at work, but no, I'm not gonna get in trouble for being on my phone. But I do need to, physically be there and at least checked in mentally.
And
Right.
we want to
Somewhat.
we want to remind you that we have the morning show, and this is I guess our main platform, but we also do Monday nights
Mm-hmm.
on a much different platform. And
You're smirking at me. I want to know more.
It-
'cause
Am I invited to that
I
too,
see
though?
the glare in your
Yes.
eye, and I'm just saying this is an open invitation. So I think this is something worth talking about, especially getting involved with Tri-State Music Group.
yes.
I think that would be a nice addition to the collective.
Yeah, I think that really work out. That's something we need to work on.
I feel like I'm like, there's some secret society talk right now.
We'll talk about that after. All
All
right.
right.
We
I
can't
dig it. I'm
discuss that
excited.
on
We'll be back after this
this
with
quick
more
break.
Good Morning Bushwick.
announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And we don't know where we're gonna take you, brother. We're here to tell you that we're back. We're going to the stratosphere. We're out of the atmosphere. We're going everywhere. We don't know where we're gonna start. We're here. We started down here, but we want to take it all the way here. We want to bust through that mother. Oh yeah! We can feel the power. The power of the Bud and Roach team, baby. BudandRoach.com. We're here and we're going straight to the top. Where's the top? We won't know till we get there, baby. There you go, Chico.